Tufale, a dynamic tech founder, advisor, and innovator on a mission to shape the future of software and startups. Omar bridges the gap between technical execution and strategic growth. He advises startups on product architecture, scaling, and sustainable technology practices, helping visionaries turn ideas into robust, real-world solutions.
Everybody, welcome once again. Today I have with me Omar. Omar is the CEO of Loopsio, and in a moment we are going to be getting into how he started and how he's succeeding and his plan for the future. It is for you if you are thinking of how do you move from 0 to 1, how do you go from idea stage to actually implementing, because a lot of people have ideas and they are unable to take the first step.
Right.
So, and if you are watching, this is for you. Now, Omar, I would like to hand over to you. So, my first question to you is going to be, what was your childhood like?
Wow, that is a deep question.
Yeah, we are starting from
this feels like a proper therapy session. I'm loving it already. So yeah, thanks for inviting me here. Super happy to be here. My name's Omar. I'm the CEO of Loopsio, which is a software services company based in Glasgow. And we'll obviously get into like what that means and what we do, but let's go back to your question about my childhood. Do you know, funnily enough, I grew up just like 15 minutes down the road from here.
Really?
No way. Seriously. I went to school in Ibrox Primary, right, which is just 15 minutes from here. And it means a lot to me to recognize that you know, that's where I grew up and how these factors influenced who I am today. And it's super important to me to, you know, recognize my identity. And that's been a journey though. I mean, it's super important to me to recognize who I am and be authentic. I don't want to be a caricature or a representation of anything other than what I really am. So being true to my identity and who I am authentically. So that includes, you know, where I grew up. I grew up in Paisley Road West, which is just down the road from here. I went to Ibrox Primary, and obviously I'm of a heritage which isn't indigenous to this country. So I'm a mix of a whole bunch of things, and each of those things I'm proud of, and they make me who I am. And I make sure that the company that I'm building is the kind of place that someone like me could fit into and be themselves. So yeah, on the surface we do software and we do tech and AI and all this cool stuff. But at the core of this company that I'm building is authenticity, right? So I want myself to be true to who I am in this company. I want the people that we attract and the people that work in this company to be true to themselves. Not only because that's a good thing to do, but because it just makes a better business. When we speak to customers, we want them to be authentic and true. Definitely. And then when we speak to them in meetings, the honesty and transparency is just the core of how we communicate with customers. And that's, again, not just a nice thing to do, because it is a nice thing to do, but it leads to better outcomes. It leads to just less miscommunication. It leads to better just products and services. So you triggered me there with that question about my childhood, but it all comes together for me in building a business that is true, is authentic, that people can trust. And yeah, that's, I suppose, a little bit about my childhood, but there's more there.
That's amazing. There is a reason why we start from there, so that we can know where you're coming from and to know where you are. Right. It's to give a little bit more of context. This helps more people who probably are from that similar background, right, to be able to say, if he has gone through this, you know, if you have gone, you know, and he's here this time, anyone
can do anything.
a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith in myself that I can also do this.
Sure.
So we are still going to be, we are still spending some time in your childhood.
Right.
So the next question I wanted to ask is, was there anything your parent taught you while you were young that prepared you for what you are doing today? A little bit of context to that. I am of the opinion that the right family brings, family is the smallest unit of a society,
Right.
and if the family is right, the children are right, everybody is right, the society at large will be right.
Yeah.
So I just want to understand from your perspective, how did your childhood, how did it shape what you are doing today at Loopsio?
I believe that as well. Like, obviously, it's a super advantage if you've got a secure and loving family to which to build your life, right? And the opposite, a negative and a toxic environment can have like a real drag on you. So yeah, I'm super grateful. I mean, my family, my parents came from Pakistan. My dad came here when he was 16 on his own, and that mindset to succeed obviously is something that I was brought up with. He just, because he was like, I've got nothing back home. His dad passed away when he was young, and there was a lot of like political turmoil in that region of the world at that time, and he was like, I hear about people going to the UK, I want to go as well. He was like 16, and he got on a train. He asked someone for the money for the the plane ride over, and he just came, and he had like a £5 or £10 or something in his pocket. So, and it's not a unique story. Thousands of people have done that. It's the immigrant story, where you give everything up for a better life, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get it, but that hunger and that drive to succeed is obviously something that I grew up with every single day. And yeah, I mean, I suppose my parents, from day one, just watching them struggle and try and build a better life, not just for themselves, but for me and my siblings, and then not just for us as a one family unit, but like a whole, like, just generation of people that they uplifted. And again, they weren't unique in that. So many people from all over the world do that, and it happens still today. But that's what I grew up with.
Awesome. Awesome. So you did made mention of something very, very important, the hunger to succeed.
Yeah.
I was chatting with somebody, and he said, I gave somebody the idea to do something because I know he has all of the resources to do it.
Right.
But he has the money to do it, the connection to do it.
Doesn't have the hunger.
But he's not doing it. I said, if you don't have the hunger, you don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So how do one have hunger for success? And because of course this must have been what have propelled you to start building Loopsio, and you are doing an amazing job.
Right. Thanks. How do you get the hunger? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking, is that something?
I mean, for you, how did you get the hunger to succeed?
How did I get the hunger to succeed? Just watching my parents, seeing them come from 0 to 1, and then to 100. Do you know what I mean? They smashed it out of the park, and I was like, I want to be like that. I want to do what they did, because I've seen the opposite as well. I've seen people not be able to go from 0 to 1 to 100, and I don't want that life. And I was saying to someone that I work with, I want to go to the moon, right? That's the ambition, but I might not get there, right? And that's fine. I don't want to die having an ambition to cross the road. Just kill me now. Just, you know what I mean? That is not a goal. Because you could go, well, Omar, that's more feasible. You're more likely to achieve that. And I can see the steps from this side of the road to that side of the road. And yeah, I can see it. It's right there. But that's not a goal that drives me. That's not a goal that makes me hungry. That's not a goal that makes me want to get up in the morning. Getting to the moon is a goal it's a big goal. And again, I might not get there, but I don't want to set a goal that's just, it's just so achievable. Why not set yourself up with a goal that's like big, that's going to drive you, that's going to energize you, and then obviously energize the people around you. So I suppose it depends what you want out of life. I told someone what I'm doing, and they were like, "Do you know what, Omar? I'm just happy with my 9 to 5." And I thought, "Do you know what? Good. That's good for you, but that's not good for me. But what's good for me is not good for you. So you do you, and me do me."
Yeah,
Which is
we still going back to the place of hunger. Some people have it, some people don't, which is all. Which
it's
is
fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you need to do. I don't want to, force my, ambition on you, and I don't want to like take what you're doing for me. Again, it comes back to authenticity. Do the thing that feels right for you. Be true to yourself.
That's so deep. That's so amazing. So the next thing I want to ask, based on what is happening in this, in the US, spilling to the UK, going to Australia now. I wanted to know, for somebody who have lived all his life here, did you ever felt like an outsider?
That's a good question. I mean, that comes back to identity as well, who I see myself as. Do I define myself, or do I let other people define me? And it can be difficult. Do you know what I mean? I was born here, but I'm not trying to be white. I'm trying to be me. And that's a mix of things. And I think it's important just to explicitly say that, because it goes back to like, who am I? At the truest level. And then all this stuff that's going on in the US and the UK, does that affect who I see myself as? It does affect me, because I'm obviously not happy with it. But it doesn't like detract me from trying to do what I'm trying to do. They're not going to make me feel any less connected to Scotland. They can't take away the fact that I was born here. I grew up here. And part of the way I am is because of the environment that I grew up in. I mean, this is deep. It's not just a case of they're wrong and I'm right. Or I do understand that the forces that have led to that reaction, but it's always more nuanced than just immigrants are bad, or they're or anyone that wears the British flag or the Scottish flag is right. And if you're white, you're right, and if you're not white, you're not right. It's more nuanced than that. The world's more complicated than that. What I feel for, though, is the people that get caught up in these simple narratives. And social media and the world that we live in today, it's just so easy to just get brainwashed. And there's a lot of brainwashed people out there on both sides. And what I would love is for a little bit of the heat to be turned down. So that, at the end of the day, we're all humans. We've all got like common needs and desires and families, like you talk about. And can we turn the heat a little bit down so we're not at war with each other? Because that just leads to like a lot of like just negative outcomes. So is there a way that we, because the world, you're not going to have like these like mono spaces where there's just white people and then there's black people and then there's brown people. The world is more interconnected than that, and the internet and digital technology is going to only accelerate that. So in this interconnected world, can we try and find a way to get along with each other? Can I try and find the good in you, and can you try and find the good in me, so that we can 10x each other rather than trying to like diminish each other? Is there a way to do that? Because there is. So I suppose that's, my high level overview on that. I want to build a company that people from all backgrounds come to, all beliefs, and we get judged on the work that we do, the impact that we have. So that's the company I want to build. That's the world that I want to see, where people get judged not on their color or their background, but not not that we become blind to that. I celebrate who you are and you celebrate who I am. I don't want to let go, well, that doesn't mean anything. It does mean something, where you came from and what you look like. But what we should get judged on is our contribution to society. What are you contributing? What am I contributing? Am I making this world a better place? Those are the things that are important to me. So running around and just harassing people and making society just difficult, I'm not up for that.
Thank you so much.